What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be going over the best team comp for the map Split. This is completely my opinion. Each of the agents I pick will be determined on two things. One, how well they can play with their team on Split, and two, how they can turn Split into such a heavily defended sided map into an offensively sided map while still being able to utilize the defensive sidedness for when this comp is on defense. Let's start with our initiator. The reason I picked Skye over Sova for this map, or any other initiator in that case, is because Skye's dog and her flashes are going to be necessary. Skye's dog in particular will give you as much intel as you need to enter, especially since it's such a small and narrow map. You'll be able to see with that restricted view that you get while you're using her dog. You'll be able to see everything necessary that you need to. The flashes are going to be more necessary than the dog, and we're going to see why once we get done with the comp. Without further ado, let's move on to our next agent, our Sentinel, Killjoy. The reason I picked Killjoy on this map is because, like I mentioned with Skye, this map is really small. It's really narrow. There's a lot of narrow cracks and crevices, hallways. She can lock down a site by herself. She can slow them down enough to allow your team to rotate. So she's really using that defensive sided map idea that I mentioned earlier to her advantage, and she's really putting it more towards the defensive side. However, she's going to be really good on attack as well, and the reason I say that is this map is small. For example, B site and garage. B site's garage is really close to B site. You can place her turret down or her alarm bot, and she can play site with her team. She can go in site and play with her team and still have that flank watch. There are easy places to put her ult on this map to really take sight off that attack, that initial attack. B's garage, as I mentioned earlier, is really close to the site. She can pretty much cover most of it except for that back left corner, in which as your team enters, you'll be able to clear that. And even on A site, the cubby right before you get into A site, if she places her ult there, she's pretty much got most of site covered. You'll mainly have to clear heaven. You might have to send someone heaven, and it won't reach screens, but you can smoke that off and then and clear that as you go. Let's move on to our controller, Astrid. Now I know you guys are probably thinking I'm main Viper. Why am I not picking Viper? Split is the only map I will not play Viper on. A lot of people who main Viper have their one ways for this map. I have my one ways for this map. I've got good smokes for this map for Viper. I don't like using her on this map. I think Astra is the better option on this map in particular, and I think that this might be her best map. There are a lot of maps that Astra's really good on, but for this one in particular, it is so good. She can slow anyone down on defense. She can slow anyone down from any side of the map. You can do this on any map, but it's also narrow, like I mentioned. So as they come in on A or A heaven or B site, if they come in through B garage, then you could set your stars up in such a way to slow them down, to concuss them, to suck them. And with a couple of the other agents we're going to pick, you'll see why this is going to be devastating. As far as attack goes, she is the attacker. She is setting her team up. She will put her smokes exactly where you need them. Caterpillar herself in if you need be. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend doing that all the time, but if you need to, that is an option. Her ult will cut off all of that second level, that heaven on B or that heaven on A that you won't need to clear it. You won't need to clear it. You set your wall up, free sight, baby. You just taking it, you clear in sight, getting that plant down, and playing with your team on site. Now let's move on to our duelists. For our first duelist, I picked Reyna, and the reason being is because I feel like 2 more blinds will not hurt. Her ult has the capability of taking out an entire team by herself. She could be really devastating if you put a good player on her. I think you need Reyna on this team, especially on Split, to pull the defender-sided portion of the map closer to the attacker-sided and make it an even playing field. I think that Reyna is a go-to on this map. Now let's move on to our last agent, a duelist, Raze. Now, I know a lot of you might be thinking, why not Jet? This Jet was a close second. Now let me explain why I picked Raze. On this map, I've already mentioned several times this map is close quarters, it's tight, it's narrow, so her utility is going to have the most damage on this map. Couple Raze with Astra, you could do your Astra suck and a Raze nade, it's a free kill or two. Split is Raze's playground. There are tight corners, her ult is capable of getting an easy 3-piece on this map off the rip. Assuming that you're predicting where they're going to go and you are successful at that prediction, or hold on to it until you need to retake for sight, and that's still another 2 kills easy. The boom bot is crucial for intel. You've got Sky's dog, as we've mentioned earlier, but if you need to clear one more angle, A Heaven, if Sky's dog is clearing hell and sight, Raze's boom bot will do what it can to clear ramp and start that initial push for A Heaven. Raze is an excellent defender on this map, especially coupled with Astra, but I think Raze can really pull that defender-sided map closer to the offensive side, just like I mentioned with Reyna. So this is the finished comp that I've came up with. Again, this is completely my opinion. However, I think that this is going to be the best comp on Split. As you can see, Sky's flashes are definitely going to be needed, is because the only other flashes that we have are Reyna's. There's only 2 of them and they're not the best flashes. Astra coupled with Killjoy and Raze will be devastating on defense. And Astra coupled with Raze will be devastating on attacker. Reyna and Astra and Sky will pull the defender-sided map towards the attacker side and make it more of an even playing field. This comp is both devastating on offense and defense, and I feel like will be the best comp on Split. Now that you've seen the finished comp, I would like to hear from you. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this comp. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Who would be a better substitution? Jet was a really close second, but I feel like Reyna's flashes are going to be necessary. And the last thing here is I stream every day on Twitch at twitch.tv/darkrevenge_. The link will be in the description below, and I really hope to see some of you guys there. Come and let me know what you think of the video. I'm going to try to come up with a bunch of these and cover every map, a comp for every map. So yeah, I'll see you there. You guys have a fantastic day.